Hey, I'm Marina.
And I'm Emily.
And I've seen everything in the Sex and the City empire 10,000 times.
And I'm starting fresh.
So I'll be woman-splaining the show.
And I'm along for the ride.
But there's a twist. We are starting with And Just Like That and working our way back to the beginning.
So in other words, we're watching it backwards and in high heels.
This is City and the Sex. Welcome back to the pod. We're in the same clothes as the episode before. I wonder why that is. Pre-production.
Pre-production and pre-planning.
And pre-planning. And if you're listening to this and you don't know, don't think about it. We are doing season 5. Today is episode 2. First off the bat, I want to plug our Patreon, patreon.com/sisterpigs. After that, I want to right a wrong that I committed. It has been so long since we have reviewed a Sex and the City episode. I completely forgot about the Sex and the City Kiss and Tell sort of Bible book that has little factoids from every episode. Little behind the scenes. I completely forgot it to read the snippet for episode 1, Anchors Away. So I'm just going to get that out of the way and read that here. So for that, it's a quote from Michael Patrick King. And he says, season 5 had a sad sort of reflective internal knitting or healing or reflection, a sort of regrouping. The image I started the season with was that of the Minutemen from the Revolutionary War, in which one has a head wound and one has a crutch, and they are still playing and marching. The idea was of our 4 girls having been wounded, but still sort of marching into battle.
Okay. Interesting.
Which is interesting.
Yeah. And I feel like this is... I should focus on the season that we're currently in, but this is just like building up anticipation for season 4. You know what I mean? It started with such a doozy, and I can tell that a lot of things happened to each of them. So I know that it, plot-wise what's coming, but yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
It's a shame it's so short though, so we also can't like see how that's going to really play out, but about it being like a reflective, sad season.
Yeah. One day.
Do you feel like that's an accurate, like, would you say season 5 is like a bummer, or would you say it's kind of...
I don't think it's a bummer. It is like the first season in a long time where Carrie isn't in a relationship, and so I feel like they automatically feel that is sad. And I also feel like it is coming off the heels of season 4, which, it's like Charlotte's in the pits of the divorce.
Yeah.
Carrie has broken up with Aiden, I believe. Samantha has had cheating Richard, and Miranda has had a baby. All negatives.
Yeah, you're right. Is it all bad things to happen to people in the show?
Yeah. So I agree with that. I'll keep in mind, like, is this a sad season? I don't know that I've ever thought about it as being a sad season, but I will hold that thought in my head.
Yeah.
But it is a season where Carrie's mostly single. And as we know, singles counter, that's sad. So
right. So we're going to just see her get like kicked around and be sad.
Walloped by life.
Okay.
So let's get into it. This is Sex and the City season 5, episode 2, Unoriginal Sin. Church. Okay. What was your one word for this episode?
I guess this is the early 2000s, so maybe this is actually inaccurate, but it was like 90s. Because there was just a few things that made me nostalgic, I guess. So, or maybe it should have been just nostalgic because we're in the early 2000s. But there was like this is totally random, but it's just like little things. Like just seeing the old cab, and I was like, oh, that's nice. Seeing the signs saying don't walk instead of the little man. There was just like a lot more little things of the city. It also reminded me how much I've missed them filming outside, as we've like talked about multiple times. So there was like little like nuggets in the background where I'm like, oh yeah, and it made me nostalgic. So mine was just like 90s New York, 90s.
Mine was baby
again.
That's it. Baby 2.0. Yes, I did have that thought, especially in the previous episode and also in this one. Like New York Street, a revelation.
Wow. Yeah, it's so different. It just feels so different.
That you can play the game. Where are they? I've been here. Where is that? Oh, okay. You know, like.
Yeah.
Sad. Rip. All right, well, let's do this. So Carrie's at home, and she says the worst thing about not being in a relationship is when your job is about being in a relationship. And for this whole episode, you know, she's suffering from the writer's block, which I actually think is really funny because it's like, yes, you know, like I always think about TikTokers, like, how are they able to just like churn?
Yeah. The running bit of this one of like, oh, it's like a French fry, or like I was doing a sock thing. Like, that's so real. You know what I mean? It's just like the desperation of like her just looking around the house and seeing French fries on the table or something and being like, yeah, men are like a French fry.
And then we cut to the girls at brunch, and she's like trying to recall Randall, the sandal guy. Like, do you guys remember this guy? Like, do you think something's there? And everybody's sort of like, what are you talking about? Yeah. And she's like going up on the spiral about the fry and all that. And I do love this moment where we basically learn that Miranda reads every column and Samantha probably doesn't.
This tracks. This is, the writer knows these characters, because I was like, oh, I just learned something about everyone at this table. That was great.
Yes.
That's
phenomenal.
exactly correct.
Phenomenal. Also Sarah Jessica has like a crazy whistle. She like says like, it's not going to be Sex in the City. It's going to be like, and then she does like a downtoned whistle to be like, woo, you know, in the city. It's a crazy whistle.
Thank you for catching that. That's a good, I missed that. That's a good point. She's a woman of many talents.
Many talents. Throwing up,
she can do
allegedly.
The trapeze.
Yeah.
She can do the scream.
And then, you know, she's convinced she's going to get fired. She's like, my editor keeps calling. Like, you know, he never calls. And then she says, I'm not getting laid, so I'm getting laid off. Fantastic.
Good.
And then they start to kind of complain about like, you know, because I think Charlotte says like, you just have to get out there and like see some men. And Miranda's like, there are no men. That's the problem. What was it? You have to go have sex and burp up? What the hell did I write in here? And perk up? Yes. So then let me restart.
Okay. No, I think we should keep burp up.
Keep my peel behind the curtain here. Yeah, now we got to keep all this. Peel behind the curtain here. I recently, somebody told me that I have doctor's handwriting. I have evolved to a point now where I write only in all caps, because if I write in lowercase, it is illegible. And at least in caps, I can somewhat piece together what my writing is.
That's fair. That's fair.
Donate to our fund.
Yeah.
Get Marina better handwriting.
We need funds for this to send her to a training annex.
If enough people on Patreon demand, I will take pictures of my notes from my journal, and you all can entertain yourselves trying to figure out what the hell I wrote. So what I wrote is that Carrie has the line, "You people go have sex and report back."
Very good. Good. Send out the minions. It's about time.
It was perfect. Then we get to hear all their orders, which I think was really fun. I know that's so random, but it's so rare that we like hear everybody's individual order.
Interesting.
Like,
it really, that is. I didn't even write that down.
It says a lot about them. It's like Charlotte orders like an omelet with veggies, and Miranda, I don't remember what she orders, but it's like something somewhat healthy. And then we get to Carrie, and she's just like a plate of fries.
Yeah.
And then Samantha gets a fruit plate. Yeah. Which I think is like an incredible order. I don't think I've ever seen a single human being ever order a fruit plate.
A solo fruit plate.
But love it.
Love it.
And she tops it off by saying, you know, I'll have a fruit plate and I'm back with Richard. The best way to introduce any bad news.
Very good. She knew what she was doing.
I'm taking that from her.
I don't remember if Carrie says this in response to this, or if she's talking about the laid off. I think she was talking about the laid off thing, but at some point also she said, these are troubled times, like, and I love that because it's in the context of like how no one's getting laid. And also now that you've told me about the like the political context, it like makes all these lines somehow so much funnier.
Yep.
These are troubled times. No one's getting laid. We're at war.
We're at war. Dick Cheney is president. Okay.
I'll take the fruit plate.
I'll take the fruit plate. So she's back with Richard, and she says that he said he was sorry, that he was in over his head and he got scared. And all the girls kind of like are like, sure, because Richard's a classic sort of player type of guy. Charlotte is literally like, how can you forgive him for this? And like does the like 2 fingers over the mouth tongue gesture. And for once, what we often complain is missing from Men Just Like That, they respond to crazy behavior with like a, did you just do that? Love it.
Yeah.
I also like that Carrie's wearing a full nightgown in public.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of gowns. Yeah. I was distracted by the hair. I didn't remember a lot of the outfits. Thank you for reminding me about this one.
Yeah, this one's like a tank. It's like a long sleeve shirt and then a nightgown. It's like what's happening? But Samantha sort of says, if his eye wanders, if he basically is non-monogamous, like that's his flaw. And Carrie's like, well, if that's your choice, we all have to respect it. And then immediately turns to bullying and is like, so like, I guess my next article is about desperate women who will believe anything. Oof. They do cut back to Samantha, like giving a look. I'm like, yeah, that is friendship breakup territory.
Yeah. They toe the line. I think there's like, it's like there's playful ribbing, right? There's like with your friend where you're like, we've reached a point where it's like, oh yeah, I can kind of tease you for something and you can give me a look and we're kind of like and move on. And then there's stuff like this where you're like, yeah, 1-800 dumbass, you know what I mean? You're like, Jesus Christ.
That's exactly the tone of it. Okay. It doesn't feel funny. It feels like, well, now that Samantha's done being a dumb bitch, I guess. It's like the whiplash is like too intense, It's like, whoa.
Yeah, okay. But the scene ends.
I guess we're ending on a high note somehow. Sure. So then Miranda's at home with Steve and the baby, and Steve basically asks to have Brady baptized. And even though he's not really religious, he's like, I want to do it just in case. And it would mean a lot to my ma, who has not been introduced at this point. Obviously, Miranda's like, from a mile away, without even her opening her mouth, clearly the most atheist woman you could encounter.
Yeah, just no question.
And is like, ew, no. And then I like how his defense is like, well, we don't want the baby going to limbo. And then she's like, do you even know what that is? And he's like, no, I mean, it's baby's head's flying around. Incredible.
I love it. I love Steve's version of like recovering Catholic.
Yeah.
Which is like, he still does the things because it's important to his ma, right? Whatever. But it's like limbo. It's like they float with the wings and the It's pretty good. I love their conflict for this. For once, it doesn't just like depress. I don't see just like Steve being abused. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Yeah. It's like this is kind of very Miranda.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be like, absolutely not.
And I think my favorite moment in the whole scene is when she's like, I don't want to do it. Like, I don't believe in it. And then he's like, well, if you don't believe in it, then it's just some water on his head.
Yeah. Touche,
Touche. Like, touche. Yeah, exactly. Like, just do it. Who cares? I love that. So then we cut to Samantha and Richard in her apartment and looking very sensual. And, she sort of does the thing where she's like, my friends don't believe you, but like, it's her. And he says, I love you. And I don't care what your friends think, I'm not dating your friends. And also I have a gift. And also it's the largest canary diamond you've ever seen in your life. And it's designed for your middle finger for when you're flipping me off.
I hate that it's a good gift.
I hate it.
I hate that.
I hate.
Like, I hate that that's funny. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nothing more unpleasant than a horrible man making a good joke.
And also, like, it's like we've seen in our time on TV shows, like, the man who gives the gift that changes everything. Like, Mr. Big's black rock to remind Carrie to be faithful is like a sneeze compared to this thing.
Yeah.
This thing is a beast. And also the fact that he immediately is like, don't worry, it's not that kind of ring. Because they're, he's like, but it's not like in a mean way where it's like, I would never marry you or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, we're both on the same page. We're both here to fuck. That's what this ring is about.
You're right. Yeah. Don't get excited. Come on.
And then Carrie tops it off in the voiceover with a joke about cheat and eat. Love.
Good. It's good. Everyone's cooking so far.
So then Carrie and Charlotte are at a cafe because earlier in the brunch scene, Charlotte was like, we should just go out and meet men. And Carrie was like, ew, no. But after like a quick little interlude where she's suffering from like the biggest writer block of all time, she's like, I guess I'm going out to find men. And they're playing this game, which is where they write down out of 100 men that they see how many they would sleep with. At which point my boyfriend turned to me and said, I hope you're not doing this with your friends. And I was like, first of all, we're in a relationship. And then he was like, oh, they're single now?
Okay.
Get on my level. Get on my level.
He didn't read your notes.
He didn't read my notes. Yeah. And guess what? He couldn't have read them even if he tried. Another excellent hat watch. This like Scottish little pom-pom hat is
yeah.
There's two hats in this episode. This and the baptism flower, and both of them come so close to being so ugly and unwearable, but like scooch right from the end.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But like 2 inches off the cliff.
Yeah. You're like, I'm watching you. You just made it though.
You're kind of like, you are. It is one of those moments where you're like, SJP is pulling this off.
Yeah.
Like if you put this on a model, it would be ugly.
But she figured it out.
She's figuring out, killing it.
Okay. Yeah.
Of course, Carrie's not into them. Charlotte's like, you're an imaginary prude, and Carrie's like, you're an imaginary whore. And then Charlotte's like, you should come with me to this seminar. The affirmations have really helped me. This was kind of a fun moment in the episode for me where I was like, it's so funny how affirmations have only grown more popular with time.
That's really true.
I'm sure when this episode came out, it was like when they were in the writer's room, somebody was either going to a seminar, they had a friend who was going to the seminar, and everybody was like, oh, so you just say good things in the mirror? How weird.
Yeah.
And now it's like you go to any sort of kitschy store and you can buy a box of affirmations with unicorns on them.
Yeah, that is so true. That's so true. How it's like it's become so like commoditized, or in a way, I don't know what the word is exactly, but it is just like, that is the thing, is like, oh, I have an affirmation on like your pillow or your calendar or whatever. It's like, and there's like a TikTokification about it. You know what I mean? There's just like, there's something kind of very like, oh, it's like, it's girls' culture now, is being like, you are the best. It's like, that is crazy to watch this episode. I was thinking about that during the scene, we'll get to it later, where I was like, this is so prescient somehow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is.
Like, this actually doesn't feel that dated.
It was giving TikTok, pre-TikTok.
Yes,
the way that
TikTok in real life,
the way that the woman talks to her and stuff like that. I was like, I've seen TikToks with this exact tone.
God.
But yeah, so and then of course Gabe, Carrie's editor, comes by, as we learn, and this was spooky for me because this man is a character in The Sopranos.
Really? That's funny. So I thought Enid was her publisher. Is Enid just like out of the picture at this point, or is that she just someone else at work?
So Enid actually I don't think has happened. I think Enid happens in season 5. Oh no, did we watch the episode where she goes to Vogue for the first time and works on an article?
No.
Okay, so I think that happens this season. So yes, Enid, to answer your question, yes and yes. Enid is not in the picture, but Enid is like, she gets a freelance gig for Vogue. And so Enid is her publisher for the Vogue, or her editor for the Vogue articles. This guy is the editor of her weekly column.
Okay.
So technically she has 2 bosses in that way.
Yeah, that makes sense. And fun that Enid is sort of like her own character. I do like that this guy is just a dude. Like he just doesn't, he's over it. Like he just exudes being over it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah, your columns, whatever, they want to turn it into a book. Let's go.
What's crazy is he's doing the same character that he does in The Sopranos. It's like, now I like have a headcanon that FBI agent also is like a side gig editor for the Star Ledger, whatever the paper is, and like the New York City Star, I think, and is like harassing Carrie on the street.
Yeah, he's undercover.
And that's how he found her, since she's not answering his calls anyway.
Yeah, it's true. He tracked her.
But we learned that he's not trying to fire her. In fact, he has good news. A publisher reached out that they want to make kind of like an anthology of her columns and publish it as a book. Exciting.
Very exciting.
So then Carrie's meeting with the publishers, who are played by Amy Sedaris and Molly Shannon, which are incredible cameos. I mean, they get more. I think we did see Amy Sedaris when she gets laid off in season 6. Remember? She's like,
that's
I've been
right.
fired. I feel like we don't ever see Molly Shannon in season 6, but we do see the 2 of them here, and they are just gushing over Carrie. You know, they're like, we cut out your. This is my favorite. One of my favorite sequences is when they're like, when Molly Shannon's like, I cut out your like column about whatever and I put it in my fridge, but not in an icky Kathy comic sort of way. Shout out to Kathy comic strips. She is our original master of thought. A master of thought.
A master of her work.
But, you know, the women sort of say, like, there's so many single women who are desperate for this kind of stuff, and we want to rush it out really quick and get it on the shelves for Christmas and the Jewish Hanukkahs. Did you catch that?
I did.
What does that mean?
I have that note, John, the Jewish Hanukkahs. I'm like, as opposed to the non-Jewish Hanukkahs, when are those?
Also, like, there's multiple Hanukkahs.
Does she mean all 7 nights? And she's referring to each one as an individual Hanukkah?
As a Jewish Hanukkahs? I don't know, but if I ever come across Amy Sedaris, you better believe that's the question I'm dropping on her.
You're going to be like, did you know the plural of Hanukkah is actually Hanukkai? Like, who are you?
And then, you know, Molly Shannon's like, so you'll have to do a forward and like a conclusion, and those will kind of set up the tone of the book. And Carrie's like, what do you mean? And she's like, the message, you know, like, is it hopeful? You know, is it cynical? And then she's like, you know, you must still believe that like he's out there, right? And then Amy Sedaris is like, or should we just shoot ourselves now? Yikes. Yikes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that great scene.
Yeah. They're being awful. This is like absolutely no defense of them or whatever, being like, oh wow, should we just kill ourselves if there's no hope? But I also do think it's a reasonable thing to ask for like an intro and a conclusion. Like this is a normal ask to be like, what's the collection or whatever. But Carrie's face, just the way that when she first says it, she looks like horrified and disgusted. She's like, oh, what? I have to what? Like, it's just like so appalled she has to do like other writing. You know what I mean?
The way that she's like, can I just say, here are my favorite columns?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, is this not your job? Is this not what you like to do?
Right.
I know. I will say it was sort of a sunshine moment for me where I was like, well, this is one thing that And Just Like That kept consistent, which is that like Carrie refuses to do any work that any publisher asks her to do.
Yeah, that's true. That, that's a good point.
And I
That is
respect
a very good point.
And I respect
On the
that.
podcast, she doesn't want to do the ads. Publisher wants her to do this. She doesn't want to do it.
And also I realized that Anne just like that recycled this, where like the woman kept being like, you should end on a hopeful tone. And then she like has a whole debate about whether to be optimistic or pessimistic and then decides to be hopeful.
Yeah. And it's doesn't get more exciting the more times we do it.
Yeah, I see your recycled laundry. Okay.
We see you.
I did want to read from the Sex and the City Kiss and Tell show Bible here because they did talk about the book a bit. So this episode was written by Cindy Shupak, who's one of the big writers on the show. And she says of this episode, our writing staff came up with the idea of Carrie's book for season 5, but as often happens with this show, life imitated art and then art imitated life. As it turned out, I was working on a book of essays at the same time Carrie was. The question of the tone of the book came up for me. And I thought that was a really interesting thing to think about after 2 decades of dating. Are you optimistic or pessimistic about love? As Carrie says, I think I might be one bad date away from becoming cynical. And which approach is better? In the end, I feel that hope is essential. And that's why I like the idea of the baptism affecting Carrie as well. The idea that water might wash away some of her original cynicism. I don't know if you caught that joke in the episode, but
I did. Original cynicism was very good. Very good. Good punny.
So I do like this. And in fact, this I feel feels more connected than the And Just Like That versions where it's like, we're just going to rinse and repeat.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. It's like, it's just such a breath of fresh air. You're like, man, I'm watching television again. It makes sense. It's cohesive.
I love
There's
it.
Themes
Connecting. So Carrie's out with Samantha and talking about the book. For some reasons, she's nervous about the book, which can't relate.
I don't buy that.
I don't buy that, and I can't relate.
Yeah.
She even says something to Samantha like, is this a good idea? And Samantha is like, newspapers are dying, but anybody who has a book is somebody. And I'm like, that somebody has to tell you that is crazy.
Yeah, that's you don't need a PR executive to like explain to you that this is good. I think she just doesn't want to do work. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, same. And then I like how Samantha's like, send me the cover when it's done. I hope it's big and glossy. And Carrie's like my mistakes. And then Samantha shows this big Gigantico ring to Carrie, and Carrie's obviously mouth on the floor about it.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
So Carrie's at home columning. She's debating about optimism versus pessimism, and she lands on the line, what's the harm in believing? And I want to point out she's wearing like a Cupid shirt here, which I think is a nice touch.
Oh, that's cute. I didn't catch that. That's very lovely. I love little stuff like that.
So then Charlotte's writing her affirmations in the mirror. This is a PSA I'd like to give right now, which is when I was a child, I had seen in enough movies the lipstick on the mirror. Iconic. Have you ever tried to do this? Have you ever tried to write something on the mirror with a lipstick?
I kind of remember doing, but it was like in theater. Like it was like at the end of the show in the dressing room. We wrote something on the mirror. But I haven't done it myself. Because also, I'll just be honest, I did not have makeup growing up because I did not understand. It was like hand-me-downs from my mom, who, as you know, is a very different skin tone from me. So all of her makeup made me look very pale and sick. So I did not have exposure to lipstick. But I do remember doing something in the theater. We like did something, but I can't remember. Why? Did you?
So the only makeup,
did you write something?
No, the only makeup I had was lipstick, which was always like the free lipsticks my mom would get from like Estee Lauder. Do you know what I mean? So she would just like she was like, it's chapstick, which like in hindsight,
that's funny.
Wild. But she was like, the only thing she gave me, I remember, were these Clinique blushes that were awful. They came in like a green square, which like
yes, my mother had those.
I've never seen my mother even shop at Clinique. I don't even know how we had these, but somehow we had thousands of them. And somehow I received all of them. And then like lipsticks of various colors.
Okay.
From like
Okay.
purples to pinks. Like she wouldn't even look at the color. She'd just be like, here you go. And like, that was my treat, was the lipstick
Okay.
and the blush. And anyway, so one day I like got it up to be like, I'm going to write something in the mirror. And like, maybe I was a child, so I wasn't delicate, but like the tip snapped off immediately.
Oh.
And then it like,
no.
it like, in the movies when they do it, it looks so clean and smooth.
Yeah.
And like, I just was like trying to push it and it was like, wasn't leaving a mark. And it like completely crushed and ruined. And I was like, this is so hard.
Yeah. So wait. I love that you Mythbusters this.
Yes.
You're like, this is a Hollywood lie.
Every time I see it, it makes me angry. I'm like, it is immediately snapping that lipstick.
Maybe this is why I've blanked my. I was like, what did we write? Maybe we never finished the message because it fell apart. You know what I mean? And I'm like, why am I remember what show it was where we wanted to do so. It was like a Shakespeare thing. And I was like, why can't I remember what we wrote? Maybe it's because we couldn't finish it because it fell apart.
I mean, I think if your lipstick is like a dark colored lipstick and it's already been worn down to a nub from the tip, then it works. But like, I paid a lot of attention. Like, it was a brand new lipstick that Charlotte was using. I was like, how on earth did she pull this off?
That's really annoying. I would be jealous and annoyed if I saw that and you were like, I tried this myself. How dare you?
How dare you? Yeah.
It does look very dramatic, but in your own house, I will say that's also kind of silly to be like, all right, now I have to clean this.
No, and also it's so hard to clean. Oh, and then by the way, because I couldn't get it to work on the mirror, I just put the lipstick on my lips and then I kissed the walls. And
that's fun.
And then, oh my God. Then I got embarrassed that I kissed the walls.
No.
And so I like covered it up with a picture of Audrey Hepburn for years and then like recently showed it to my mom and she was like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, I'm still embarrassed.
Wait, that's precious. Oh my God. If that was like my daughter that was like, here, let me show you my ancient lipstick stains on the wall, I would have been delighted. That's really adorable. Like that also, can I just say that anecdote encapsulates like many sides to you? Like I saw this movie, so I'm going to try it. I'm going to kiss the wall. I'm embarrassed about doing a wrong thing, so I'm going to hide it. Is like all of the stages of Marina.
Yeah, that's me. That's me. When you're
really
thinking,
cute.
Wow, Marina does so many things. I'm still hiding kiss lips on wallpaper in my childhood bedroom. That's where I'm at mentally.
It's so cute.
Desperate women will believe anything. Okay, so Charlotte's like listening to the affirmations, whatever. Then we cut to Miranda at church and she's waiting for Steve and Ma. And we finally meet Steve's mother. And, it is Ben Stiller's mother. She's a mess. This is what we know about her.
Yeah.
I do love the like mutilated photocopied picture of the baby. It's got like highlighter stains on it. Like,
yeah, and the wall. Yeah,
it's like this woman can't even get a decent picture of the baby. That's crazy.
This whole scene is very pitiful. Look, here's the thing. It's like Miranda and Steve's plots always make me sad because they always include suffering of someone. And in this case, they were like, oh, we're actually going to have a fun, cute plot about the baptism. And I was like, oh, nice, I can relax. And then they brought this in and now I'm sad again.
I know this whole scene is painful and also has no resolution.
Yeah, it does.
And then, like, remember then they have the baby shower or whatever it is, his first birthday later. And that's when we see Ma again. And Ma's like bonding with Debbie. Like until the end of the series, which I think, it did pack a punch when she like takes care of her. When she suffers from like dementia in the street and stuff like that. It's like, we've just never seen her be nice to this woman.
Yeah. It's pretty awful the whole way. And then I feel so sad about everyone involved. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like she's also unpleasant in her way, but I feel so sorry for her. Like the way that she pulls out this, like you said, it's like she can't even get like a good copy, and she's like keeps it in her wallet. She's so excited, and Miranda's sitting here being like disgusted, and is like, and it just really hit me how Steve's family is so pushed out of this. Like Miranda kicked him out of the house. Yes, the last episode, so it's like that's their grandkid, you know, even though they're not married or whatever. So it just felt, the whole thing felt really sad. I don't know. I'm gonna just focus on fun anecdote time. I recognized that church right away, and the like street that they were on, and I was like, yeah, that's right by my parents' house. I walked by that all the time to go to school.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Every time I see it, I'm like, where the hell is this?
Now I
know. Yeah, I know. It's like, I feel like this episode needed just that one touch. That's like even Miranda callously being like here and like handing her a decent picture. Like even just something small like that, where it's like, we're not friends, but because to your point, it's like she's been dealing with this stuff with Steve where she doesn't want Steve to be involved because that makes her feel vulnerable. But now we're dealing with this man's mom. And I can't tell if I'm supposed to laugh at this whole scene. Like, do you know what I mean? When she's like, when I think about that little baby burning in hell. And then when she goes on the whole rant about the eldest son whose baby died, which is like, that's a crazy something. Do you know what I mean? To say that your grandchild passed away after 2 weeks, that's like a major event. And then she's like, but he says I have problems with his wife because she's black, but I don't. And it's like, am I supposed to be laughing? I can't tell.
Yeah. I think that's a good read on why this is like uncomfortable too. Is like, I don't know. It's not played for straight as like a sad thing, because then I think your thing is spot on, is that the episode would come back full circle and we'd have the little like reconciliation moment. But because of the other stuff, it feels like maybe there were supposed to be jokes in here that I wasn't laughing.
But we do finally get the answer to that Jackie joke that we couldn't figure out. It's like mentioned as one quick line. The eldest brother is named Jackie. And so it is that she was pregnant with her first child on her wedding night.
Oh my gosh. What a catch.
But like,
oh my God.
if we hadn't watched this in reverse, like the psychopaths that we are, like I would still be like, what is that joke? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But because that came first, now we're like on the lookout.
And by the way,
wow, well done.
I do want to say many people wrote in speaking to us, answering that like burning question, and anybody who wrote in, thank you very much. I did see it and I did appreciate it, but I honestly didn't believe anybody. Everybody kept writing being like, I think it's like an older sibling, and I kept being like, shut up, there is no older sibling. And then this episode happened and I went, wow, the commenters, they're always right.
They were always right. But we're embarrassed, so we're going to hide that behind our Audrey Hepburn poster, and we're going to not acknowledge that.
And never talk about it again. Okay, so then she's like, we're going to lie to the...
They're always just trying to help.
And I'm like, no, get away. Much like Miranda. Them. Okay. What does that mean for me? Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Satan, remove all mentions of him. I do love that they sit with the priest and go through it like a legal document.
That's funny. Yeah, she's like redlining it. That is a good bit.
That and the astute observation from Carrie that the church, much like a 36-year-old woman, is desperate for anything that's left. It's like, ooh, chef's kiss.
Zing. Look, Carrie, I give her a lot of shit when she lands a line that I hate. And I really have to give her credit when she's cooking.
So then Miranda and Carrie are baby dress shopping for the christening dress. And, Miranda's like, they keep saying we have to wash away the sin, but, babies come already clean. It's us. Like, we're the ones that fuck them up. And we kind of have the optimism versus pessimism debate. And, okay, hold my hand through this one. Miranda dunes on Grom.
Oh boy.
She dunks on Ma, I think is what I wrote.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because Carrie's like, how was Steve's mother? And then she was like, Steve in a wig and drunk? Yikes. And then she asks Carrie to be the godmother.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, I do think that they are I do think that they are the best friends in the four. So I think for that reason, it makes sense.
Okay.
And that Miranda is not really religious. So
yeah,
I do agree with Carrie later when she's like, I think Charlotte really wants the job. It's like, yeah, I do think on paper, Charlotte is the better answer. But also Carrie is there. Spoiler alert, Carrie is there for Brady's birth. So I'm not too bothered by it. What I am bothered by is that Carrie questions it on the day. When she like goes up to Miranda and she's like, "Are you sure you want me to be the godmother?"
Oh yeah.
And it's like, this isn't about you.
I'm trying to field all these relatives and I'm trying to get this baptism done, and we just roll with it, girl.
Yeah, like that's more offensive to me than this.
Yeah.
This makes sense.
I agree. And I think you're right. They do seem like the best friends. I feel like Miranda is the closest thing to like the second main character.
Yeah.
So I think that made sense, and I thought it was kind of sweet. Even if it's like there's something kind of sweet about the trope of like, yeah, I'm atheist, it doesn't mean anything, but like it sort of means something. You know what I mean? Like,
but I want to do it with you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's really cute. So then Charlotte and Carrie go to the seminar heard around the world. They walk in and they both get affirmations. And of course, Charlotte's affirmation is, "I believe in the good of people." And then Carrie is like sort of immediately making fun of the whole event. And Charlotte's like, "Stop making fun of the whole event." And then she's like, "What'd you do today?" She's like, "I got a christening gown for my friend's illegitimate baby." Incredible. And then, Charlotte's pissed off because she's not treating the baptism with the weight and the serious that it needs. And she's like, some things are sacred. And then they like walk in to sit down. And then she's like, "We're not talking." And then Carrie gives like a big poetic speech being like, "I believe in the good in Charlotte, who dragged me out of the house when I wanted to stay home and be negative." And Charlotte's sort of like, okay, it's like we're seeing the opposites here. It's like Miranda's the cynical one. Carrie, Charlotte's the like optimistic one. Art imitates life, life imitates art.
Right. All right, exactly.
So then Samantha and Richard are at dinner. And she's just like pulling away from him. He's not fully out of the doghouse yet. But when the hot lady walks by, he doesn't look at her. So that's a good sign.
Yeah, he passes that test. And you can see he doesn't even blink. Like there's something so funny, but he just seems like he's I was watching him right we were like, it's like, I bet he has the rock hardest boner right now under the table. He's trying hard to...
He's just like squeezing a fork. He does kind of give that look where it's like you don't think he totally isn't seeing the hot woman. He's just like trying to have his eyes stay in one direction.
It is a very intense stare ahead. That's my headcanon.
I never thought about that scene that way, but that is exactly what happens. And
that's in the book, right? That's in the chapter.
Yeah, they wrote it in the book. Yeah. And then Samantha's like, "You're gonna come with me to Miranda's baptism," which thinking about this man at some random woman's baptism is hilarious.
Yeah, I
love that.
I love a +1 to my friend's baptism. Also a problematic +1 that my friend is like not really pleased with yet.
Who was caught eating another woman's sushi.
Lest we forget.
So then we're at the seminar, and the, life coach, the Mel Robbins that is leading the seminar is saying, you will get love when you deserve love. And like this woman, raises her hand and she's like, "I did the affirmations and I found love and I believe in love." Like she's totally, we see a woman who's like totally into this system. And then Charlotte raises her hand, and I love how she's like, "How long did that woman do her affirmations?" I've been doing my affirmations every day and like I've gotten nowhere.
Nothing has happened. Yeah, I love how she phrases it like a medical condition.
Yeah.
It's like, and this is like the miracle cure. It's very funny. I think this is just such a fun episode because like the juxtaposition of like the church stuff and then also this thing is like kind of like a cult, you know what I mean? And is like she's kind of her own church leader, this lady, right? And they have these like, I mean, it feels like a cult, and it feels like, oh, you have to do your 10 Hail Marys and then, whatever. And there's something so so innocent about like, well, I did my 10 Hail Marys and whatever. You know, she stands up. She's like, I've been doing it for a while. It's like so naive in such a like funny way, you know?
Yeah. What struck me about this scene this time around is like, so every time I've watched this scene, I've been like, this woman is a scam artist and like says only mean things to Charlotte. And like, she definitely still does, but I'm so brainwashed by TikTok that when the woman's like, you know, I hear fear, I hear doubt, you have to believe, you know, like that, you know, you have to keep doing it until you believe. I was like, yeah, girl, unfortunately, you got to keep doing it until you believe. Hey, let go, you know? What is it? The let it go theory? Yeah. Just let it go.
Or lean in.
Yeah, you can't let go till you let go.
Yeah. You can't let go until you let go and you take something new.
Like I was with the seminar woman being like, yeah, you don't really believe, actually. Sorry, I hate to say it.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but you're not a real believer. You sound like a doubter. I love Marina TikTok. This Marina the TikTok. This is how you end up with the Stanley Cup and the is like you're like, yeah, I'm on board with this. Like you're going to someone and you're like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do this. Let's do affirmations. And then Carrie's there to be like, there's lead in there. There's lead in that cup.
I did buy a Stanley Cup.
What happened to it, by the way?
I sold it to an NYU student on Facebook Marketplace.
Okay.
And the best part was they were like, oh, I'm in the West Village. And I couldn't think of any sort of monumental thing in the West Village other than, oh, okay, well, let's meet at Stonewall. And so I stood outside of Stonewall holding a Stanley Cup while the patrons of Stonewall stared at me and must have thought this delusional woman needs help. And then some girl, nice woman, you know, nothing to say about her, but like clear college student approached me and then she gave me $5 in cash for my Stanley Cup. And everybody at Stonewall just witnessed this happen. And I can only assume they thought drugs were in there because I don't know why you would just sell a Stanley Cup on a New York sidewalk. But
like
that's
clearly to a stranger. That is gay history. What an icon.
That, hey, I was there when they threw the brick.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
People died that day.
People died. You know, but Marsha B. Johnson is looking at you and she's like, you know, this is what we fought for.
Yeah. Anyway,
I want you to do all of your Facebook Marketplace exchanges from now on at historical.
Historically, you know.
You got to teach the kids the great history.
Yes, 100%. Next will be the AIDS memorial. Okay.
Someone buy my Labubu.
Somehow that one I escaped unscathed. But anyway, back to hiding this behind an Audrey Hepburn picture.
Okay.
So Charlotte has this like precious scene, you know, precious moment where she's like, I did find love and I did believe in love and like everything fell apart and he took away my ability to believe and like I feel hopeless and I feel like I'll never regain that feeling back. And this is when the life coach seminar lady, I think, goes off the wagon where she's like, you're not really trying. You're not really putting yourself out there. I'm like, I don't know that that's what I would say, but I would say like, well, it takes a while to believe again and like, just keep doing those affirmations, girl. Like that's what I would say.
Yeah. I think it's like, let's see this from the perspective of someone who like isn't on the grift, right? Or whatever it is. It's like, there is a positive way to spin this back to that. And that is like encouraging and nice, but it's like a mean turn almost to be like, sorry, I don't really believe you. It's like,
yeah, it's like
really harsh.
But it lets Carrie protect Charlotte through the cynicism by being like, she is trying.
Okay, I want to say a couple things. One, first of all, I almost don't want to say anything because I'm so happy to see Carrie stand up for a friend. I think this is the
For
first time I
once.
remember in like a while where it's like she really in public was like, no, shut up. And I appreciate that. Thank you, Carrie. It was a very nice thing to do. And I love that version of Carrie. We love to see that. There is something, though, that is like kind of funny about being like, no, she is trying really hard. And I'm like imagining being one of the other people in the seminar being like, wow, her friend just outed her as like a slut. It's like,
Yeah.
Because she said something like, the seminar says like, the seminar lady is like, oh, maybe you're not trying. You're not putting yourself out there. Which sounds like, physically going on dates. And Carrie's like, oh, no, she is putting herself out there. And you're like, oh,
Okay.
like her tits are out.
Yeah. I just love that we don't get a response.
Yeah, it ends.
The lady just moves on. And I was like, okay. I'm like, if I'm in that seminar, I'm like, I'm sorry, you're not going to say anything?
Yeah, she really was like, I have no response to this.
Do your
I'll
affirmations.
just ignore it and maybe they'll go away.
Put it behind the Audrey Hepburn picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're a symbol of shame.
One time in middle school, I was like, something happened, I forget what it was, and I was making these sounds, and somebody was like, are you crying or are you laughing? And I said, both.
You said yes.
And I said, check, please. Okay, so the baptism.
Yes.
Big dumb flower.
Yes.
Hat watch.
Hat watch.
I love that Carrie gets introduced to, it's like Steve's cousin, I don't know. And he's like, I'm the godfather. And he like does the Brando. I just wrote the note, die. Carrie makes a nice quip here where she's like, we all joined at the little church that could. But then Miranda saves her and they're like shit talking the whole church the whole time. Miranda has a line here where she's like, yeah, Steve's mom collected all the Molly Maguires. And I was like, what the hell is that?
Reference to?
It's a society of it was a secret Irish coal mining society.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't do anything past the AI overview on Google, but that's what the AI overview on Google told me. And I went, well, it tracks.
Okay. So she means like poor Irish people?
I think she means like, yeah, like all the Irish Catholics, working class Irish Catholics, which you got that red hair, girl. I see you.
Yeah, nice try.
Nice try. And then we have this thing where Carrie's like, are you sure I'm the good godmother for Brady? And I'm like, shut up.
I wish you were present in these scenes so you could tell the guy to go die. And you'd be like, Gary, shut up.
She does have the good line here, I'm one bad date away from being bitter. And then Miranda says, I don't know if I believe in this, but I believe in you. And like, I want you to be Brady's godmother. Lovely, lovely scene. Lovely line. Mm-hmm. Again, Carrie trying to make this baptism about her. It's fine. She does it every time. Okay.
It's expected.
The baptism moment is happening. I actually really enjoyed how this baptism is shot. I never really paid attention. Like it's all these sort of like close-up soft Vaseline shots. There isn't a lot of like dialogue per se. It's like the priest doing the ritual and then a lot of like silent mime work. Like I love the way that they like Carrie's like holding the baby and then Charlotte takes the picture and then the creepy Godfather guy like puts his arm around Carrie in a really like aggressive way and Carrie's like looking away like ew.
Yeah.
Like it's like all communicated silently, I love when we have the like Lord hear our prayer, which is a thing that's said in unison and Richard says it and Samantha just like gives him this look that's like, are you Christian? Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
this is this like look, but like it says everything where it's like, what?
Yeah. Did you just say that? Did you just speak to the Lord?
And then the priest says, this is like the holy water to cleanse you. And Samantha's like, there isn't enough water in the world to cleanse you. Dirty martini, dirty bastard.
Dirty bastard.
Incredible. And then Carrie has the line that's like, I wish the water would wash away like my original cynicism. Still sort of debating on being hopeful or whatnot. And then we get this moment outside of the church, sort of in the galleyway, where Richard, wishes Miranda the best. And he's like, for the record, I did get scared. And Miranda's like, okay.
I did not like that, boy.
Nope.
I like the way, if I were Miranda, my haunches would like, just, that's so weird and aggressive. I hate it. Oh, he's gross. Yeah, everything about him is just skeezy. Is there ever a time early in the relationship where Richard is charming, or is he just always like this?
I mean, he goes from really disgusting to kind of charming to disgusting again.
Okay.
That's his line graph.
Great.
So like when you see his introduction, you're going to hate him.
Okay.
Then when you see like the early of their relationship, you're going to be like, okay, I understand why you might fall for something like this, especially being Samantha.
I see. Okay.
And then he'll eat the sushi and you'll hate him all over again.
Okay. Okay.
But as they walk out, it's clear that Carrie and Miranda are sort of like, this guy.
Yeah.
And then Charlotte's like, I don't know. I think it'll all work out. And I guess the idea is, she has her hope back.
Mm.
And because of that, Carrie's at home and she's so inspired to, by Charlotte and her faith and her belief that she dedicates the book to her, saying, this is for every single girl everywhere. And one in particular, my good friend Charlotte, the eternal optimist who always believes in love.
I think it's a very sweet dedication. I think it was very cute. I think it's like a very good one, like in universe for the book. Like I think it's like very fitting, and she landed on a good tone without being too like saccharine about it, but also just with the two of them, I don't know. I think it's very sweet. It's such a lovely character moment for Carrie. It's so sad. I'm trying really hard to delete my brain from the really depressing and just like that ending of her like dancing alone. Like, well, the woman was alone compared to like this. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, she was like with her friends who keep her going,
Yeah. It's such a nice thought. I'm going to hold on to that anytime I think of where this is headed.
Yeah, and that's the episode. Season 5, episode 2. So we end every episode with our high and our low, our rose and our thorn. We'll start with the negative. Emily, what was your thorn of this episode? What was your diarrhea?
Honestly, I loved a lot in this episode, so this was a harder one, but I would say the thorn is the scene with Ma, where she's like showing the picture and stuff. There's just like, it's so sad, and kind of to your point, it doesn't really like end where it feels like it should. Just is a bummer of a moment.
Yeah, mine is when they bully Samantha by being like, so I guess I'll write about desperate women who will believe in anything. Especially in an episode that's like really about friendship,
Yeah, that's true.
That's my thorn. What was your high? What was your release the Kraken?
Excuse me. I really liked the dedication. I thought that was very cute. And that's like, we just had a lot of good like Carrie character moments here that were really sweet and also like believable. Like I was actually seeing Carrie be like a good person and a thoughtful person versus having a neighbor angrily be like, she bought my pies in the pandemic, she's a hero. It's like I would rather see her actually like do nice things, and that dedication is such a nice little thing to end on.
Yeah, I think for me it's the publisher episode, kind of in tandem with what you're saying, which is that like it just feels so genuine and not in a very forced, like, you know, we're going to make Carrie work. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, it'll be quick. We'll just put this thing in the front, put this thing at the back, and like wrap this thing up. And it sort of sends Carrie on a spiral. Like something so small is like, how am I going to have my message on this book? You know? I really appreciated that. And also those two ladies are so funny.
Yeah,
it's great to see them be like stressed New York business
publisher
ladies, people. You know, like, yeah.
Good side characters like that just like really make that episode
really pop. Well, that is it. We survived Brady's baptism. Sadly, he will be possessed by Satan anyway.
Yeah, he said it didn't work.
So this was for naught.
This was for naught. God, it's like Brady to me is like Benjamin buttoning. Like I'm just watching him slowly just move backwards, and it's like it's very disturbing and very sad to watch what's happening to him. But
yeah. It is also, I will say, off of your point about the, you know, and we talked about it at length, but my final thing about it, the whole scene with Maz, like when it's echoed and just like that, you know, that baby mama doesn't want anything to do with Brady or Miranda. Like Miranda doesn't have any sort of reflective moment of like, well, I guess I deserve this. I did this to Ma.
Yeah.
No.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
You know who got more screen time? Joy's Greyhound dogs. Which I will never forget.
That was like the event of the episode that we had to rush off to go tend to, the dogs.
Dear God. Well, we're going to need a lot of emotional support since we're on life support here. So run over to our Patreon, watch our episodes, like, share, favorite, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, marinadi.nyc. It said marinad.nyc, but as I've learned, people love to pronounce my last name, Di Marzo. I don't know why DI translates to Die Marzo, but I would really encourage you to think about that. And until next time, bye.